Tom Cruise went from couch-jumping madman to king of Hollywood, but is it all an illusion?
People discredit him because of Scientology.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist.
Serious allegations against this church, splitting up families.
He is but he is awesome.
But nobody knows what really happened with Nicole Kidman.
I was running from my life.
Over 2 decades later, people are still looking for answers.
Was it a fairy tale or was it all in our heads?
All I will say is it's been awful.
We did some digging and found some details you won't believe.
Infuriated in-laws, a controversial church, and a separation that took one of Hollywood's biggest stars by surprise. Turns out the only mission that was impossible for Tom Cruise was marriage.
I was so young. There is something about that sort of existence that, if you really focus on each other and you're in that bubble, it's very intoxicating. Because it's just the two of you, Nicole Kidman said to Vanity Fair. Her relationship with Tom Cruise was really toxic.
A 3-time Golden Globe winner, Tom Cruise has been a hot topic in Hollywood for a long time. It's a known fact that the handsome actor is revered as a Scientology's brand ambassador, and their special bond has always been quite public over the years. Well, he did a great job in his career, but his social standing is not so great. People do have some colorful things to say about the star regarding their personal experiences with him. In the wake of Tom Cruise's association with Celebs, destruction followed. Buckle up, dear audience, to get all the interesting deets today.
Tom Cruise is known as much for his acting as he is for his relationships with Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, and Katie Holmes. However, people often forget about Tom's first marriage to Mimi Rogers. Their relationship moved fast, and their divorce came around even faster.
You can never be too careful when it comes to love. The Jack Reacher star has been married 3 times, to Mimi Rogers from 1987 to 1990, to Nicole Kidman from 1990 to 2001, and to Katie Holmes from 2006 to 2012. His splits gained more attention as his career soared. The host shot first met the gung-ho actress in a diner. A whirlwind romance ensued, and just like that, they married within a year. Before the marriage, he confessed, "I don't know if I could get married," he said. "Right now, in my present state of mind, I don't believe so. I need a lot of space for myself and my work." Their 3-year marriage came to an end January 16, 1990, the reason being kept under wraps. But Tom Cruise gave the dodgy statement that stated, "She knows why and I know why. She's the mother of my children and I wish her well. And I think that you just move on, and I don't say that lightly." Now, you must be wondering what Scientology has to do with all this. The spark died and they split. What's the big deal? Well, an interesting fact is that Mimi Rogers was a second-generation Scientologist and the one to introduce him to the belief system. Apparently, the love and adoration Tom harbored for Mimi expired as soon as the divorce finalized. After a few months, he married his then co-star Nicole Kidman. Their marriage was also a heck of a ride for the fans and the couple themselves, and more so their divorce.
Was it a fairy tale or was it all in our heads?
All I will say is it's been awful. I cannot believe this is happening to me.
Was Nicole the love of your life?
What do you mean, Peter?
You just got up one day and said the marriage is over, but you walked out with no apparent reason.
I think you really have to ask Tom that question. He can answer it more accurately than I can.
And everyone keeps asking me all the time, how are you, how are you? And there's times when you just say, I just want to curl up in a ball and never get out of bed.
At the end of their 11-year marriage with 2 kids, the couple issued a joint statement stating that their irreconcilable differences forced them to part ways. Well, Marty Rathburn has a different story to tell. He hinted that the church played a significant role in their demise as a couple. A Vanity Fair article described Rathburn as Scientology's former Inspector General and number 2. He admitted that he had a hand in breaking up Rogers and Cruz, and then Cruz and Nicole Kidman, saying both women got cold on Scientology head David Miscavige. He was integral to the breakup of the marriages. Indeed, it was reported that Rogers has since left Scientology. Now, you must be thinking, it's not as bad as they made it to be. Sit tight, as the highlight of the drama is just getting more and more interesting. During the course of their relationship, the career of both the former wives severely suffered. Nicole remained the devoted mother to her children, while her career took the backseat. Due to various reasons, Nicole opened up about her insecurities regarding her career. She explained that the overwhelming pressure of tabloids and media to couple up Tom with other celebrities was increasingly humiliating. Despite the changes in his spouse's behavior, Tom remained intentionally ignorant. After the split, the actress threw herself into work and was rewarded with the Oscar, but her inner self was completely destroyed by them. But Tom's search for love did not end there. In 2006, Tom again gave marriage a chance and tied the knot with Katie Holmes. The beginning was all love and sunshine until she fell out of favor with the officials like Mimi and Nicole. For better understanding of the situation, Andrew Gold and Aaron Smith didn't shy away to give us a little insight about what's going on with Tom and Katie.
I think the same thing is true for Katie. You know, she when it really came down to it, Tom was out of the country filming Oblivion in like Iceland or something, and she basically took Surrey, got on a plane, flew to New York, and said, "I'm out of here." Like, it doesn't sound like an escape, but you have to understand how much planning in secret and hiding all of that planning from everyone in her life whose job it was to, you know, watch everything she did and listen to everything she said and report on everything back to Tom and Dave and stuff like that.
Katie Holmes escaped Scientology after months of preparation and filed divorce from Tom Cruise for the sake of the healthy upbringing of her then 6-year-old daughter, Suri. These measures took the cult by surprise and communicated a strong message to the opposition that Katie will not be easily cowed. With the help of a great legal team, she accomplished her goal.
Cruise actually had a rather unusual way of finding love. As Maureen Orth reported for Vanity Fair, the Church of Scientology had a way of vetting and scouting out women to fill the role of Cruise's girlfriend. Although the exact behind-the-scenes workings of the Church of Scientology are unknown.
Unbeknownst to Katie, the church was pulling some strings around the back. An accomplished, gorgeous Scientologist named Nazanin Boniadi was allegedly selected by officials in the organization to be Tom Cruise's next girlfriend. The involvement and mechanical control of the church reveals a complex dynamic that also affected Cruise's relationships with Nicole Kidman, Penelope Cruz, and now Katie Holmes. Despite the church's backhanded strategies, people have been supporting Katie Holmes in the measures she took to escape Scientology and Tom Cruise on social media. A public health worker commented, "For a time, I worked in a domestic violence shelter and I followed the Cruise homes with great interest. It was very clear that if all the reporting was reasonably accurate, that Katie did all the things victims of domestic violence are advised to do if circumstances permit. She planned carefully and secretly. She was able to have her attorney father covering for her. She used burner phones, and she was even able to rent a New York apartment under some pretext. Then, with everything in place and safely in New York, she had Tom served with divorce papers. Brava." As a result of the church's toxicity and manipulation, not only Tom and his family, the chairman and his family's lives were also greatly affected. Jenna Miscavige Hill, niece of the said chairman, explained her experience with Scientology, saying, "My experience in growing up in Scientology is that it is both mentally and at times physically," Jenna said. "I was allowed to see my parents only once a week at best, sometimes not for years. We got a lousy education from unqualified teachers, forced labor, long hours, forced confessions, being held in rooms, not to mention the mental anguish of trying to figure out all of the conflicting information they forced upon you as a young child. As a mother myself, I offer my support to Katie and wish for her all the strength she'll need to do what is best for her and her daughter." Another A-list Scientologist, Leah Remini, joined Scientology at the age of 9 with her family. She left the organization in 2013 and subsequently launched a campaign to expose its alleged wrongdoings. Remini published a memoir titled Troublemaker: Surviving Hollywood and Scientology in 2015, in which she was highly critical of the church's practices. She wrote, "Scientologists are taught that kids are no different from adults. So from a very young age, I was held accountable like an adult and regularly told that anything bad that happened in my life, even things that I wasn't responsible for, was my fault." Disregarding the actress's claims, the Scientology church labeled her acts as childish and attention-gaining antics. They advised her to stop criticizing her former religion and move on with her life. Despite their public show of disinterest, they continued to supervise Leah through underhanded means, on which Leah says, "I'm going through personal and big changes for me and my family. The church is looking for me to fail so they can say to their parishioners, 'You see what happens when you leave the church? They're waiting for me to fail.'" People have been supporting Leah through all her struggles to fight this organization head on. A fan commented, "I'm glad Leah finally woke up from her Scientology sleep and is trying to help others do the same. She is single-handedly dismantling this sick cult. May God continue to watch over, bless, and protect her as she continues this good work." After destroying the lives of many renowned celebrities, Scientology to this day has not been held accountable by any law authority. Will there ever be a day where all the Scientology community will be punished for their wrongdoings? Or is it just a fool's errand to hope? Will America be able to protect its talent from falling prey to such organizations? Only time will tell. That's it for today, folks. Until next time, goodbye.